All right, so we are going to talk about changing from a decimal to a fraction to a percent, or starting with the fraction, changing to a decimal and percent, things like that. So let's start with a decimal first. Let's take a look at 0.18. Now, a lot of you can tell me at this point what the percent version of this decimal would be. And there's two ways you can do this. They do the same thing. If you multiply this number by 100, you will get the percent. The word percent means per 100. Okay, so keep that in mind. We have, if we multiply by 100, it is going to move this decimal to the right 2 places. So instead of 0.18, the percent version of this number is going to look like 18%. Okay, now we just had a hint at what the fraction is going to look like also when we were talking about this. So 0.18 is the same thing as 18 hundredths. That 8 is in my hundredths place. The word percent also means per 100. So right now we can write 18 per 100. 8 is in the hundredths place, so we have 18 100ths. And this is the fraction version of that decimal, but we can't leave it like this because it's not simplified yet. So the last step, simplify it. What number goes into both 8 and 100? Well, they're even numbers, so we can divide by 2. And that's going to give us 9 50ths. There's not a number that can go into 9 and 50 evenly, at least. So this would be our fraction. So we have a fraction and a percent, and we started with 0.18. Let's take a look at a fraction. If we start with a fraction, let me pull up my thing here. Okay, we have 7/8, okay, and we're going to change 7/8 into a decimal, and then just change that decimal to a percent. So we'll just do a little bit more practice with that. So 7/8. This is 7/8, also known as 7 divided by 8. So if we're trying to find the decimal version of 7/8, I can take 8 divided by, oops, I did that backwards. Sorry, 7 divided by 8. I am going to erase this so that we can start fresh here. So we're going to have 7 divided by 8. Okay. Can 8 go into 7? No. 8's bigger than 7. It just doesn't work. So then we're going to have a decimal point after that. We're doing long division, okay? So we have 8 does not go into 7. It goes in there 0 times. We're going to subtract 0, and it's going to give us 7. Then we can add a 0 after that 7 and a decimal point and bring that down for our next step. And we say, how many times can 8 go into 70? Well, I know 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is 72, so 9 is too high. We have to go with 8. 8 times 8 is 64. 70 minus 64 equals 6. Bring down another 0. See how my numbers are lining up with my numbers inside of my bar here? The 0 is above the 7. The 8's above the 0, and I have to create another 0 to be able to form another number on top. So 8 goes into 60 how many times? Well, we know it doesn't go in there 8 times because 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 7 would help us out best. 8 times 7 is 56. Okay, so we have 60 minus 56 equals 4, and we're not done yet. So I'm going to add another 0 and bring it down. 8 goes into 40 5 times. Exactly. So 8 times 5 does in fact equal 40. So when I do 40 minus 40, that equals 0. That means there's nothing left to divide. There's nothing left to figure out once I get 0. So 0.875 is going to be my decimal. 0.875. Okay. Let's now do percent. So percent, if I have 0.8 0.875. Hold on. Okay, so 0.875. Now I'm going to use my trick to move my decimal. When I am changing from a decimal to a percent, I'm going to go to the right 2 places, and that gives me 87.5%. In the calculator, I can type 0.875 times 100, and that'll give me the same thing. Okay, there you have it.